It's time
show.
Live
it up.
Thursday morning
Yeah.
at the yard
We're live
bar.
somewhere.
Yeah.
Thursday. Okay. One last Thursday, and then we'll switch over to Tuesdays again.
Must be doing
Right?
a hot flash. My glasses started fogging up.
Oh, funny.
I was at dinner last night with the fam at Alice's house with the new baby, and everybody looked at me and said, "Are you having a hot flash?" Because my glasses just totally started like fogging up.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
And I turned red.
That's a true sign. Okay.
Yeah. I gotta.
Yeah. How's our sweet new baby
Our
Elise?
sweet new baby Elise is just, she's darling, and she's
She's
know,
starting
in
to
the
wake
world
up.
of new babies,
Yeah.
she's kind of perfect because she really doesn't, she's not a crier. She only cries when she's hungry.
Well,
So it's just sleeping, eating. She's,
sounds pretty normal.
but she's pretty sweet.
Yeah.
She's got like the longest hands. We figure she's gonna be able to palm a basketball
There you go.
pretty good, or
Yeah.
play the piano. See, there they are. They're going again. They're getting fogged up.
So, have we heard from any of the Franks as far as her being like she broke the boy barrier there?
Well, we haven't been able to see anybody. Just the other grandparents have been there.
And
but
everyone knew she was a girl, so
everyone knew
had
this
that
girl. They
discussion.
all love her name. Elise is a name that Alice picked out, but Henrietta is it's a family name, so it's my grandmother's middle name, who was Prudence Henrietta.
So is there going to be a pattern like Elise, Silas, Alice?
I don't know.
Like, what are the dogs' names? Cat names?
Oh,
We
the
have
cat
the
is
S
Zeke,
thing.
and the cat
Okay.
is Zeke. The husband is Zach.
So
The cat is Inky.
okay, so no S there. Okay,
No.
just Okay, well, she might have
And
to
Zeke's
start
been
that
staying
trend.
with us. The dog's been staying with us. And then when I was over at the house, Inky, like,
Kitty.
what an awesome cat. The cat, they got her at the shelter. That's a he. But, like, that cat will let you do anything, but it likes me now because it likes to sit in my lap.
Oh, really?
It-
Oh, sweet.
It's not really, like, Jim's not really a cat person. But,
Yeah. Cool.
But she likes
Cool.
me.
So baby duty's good.
Baby
Nice little
duty is good. It's not, Alice is doing really well. So, it's really just,
She can't drive. So
yeah,
if
I'm
you-
her chauffeur,
Yeah.
so that's really why she needs
and
me.
helping.
but-
What about meals? Like, is she? Because I know with Silas, she had a bunch of meals like in the
I
freezer,
know, but
ready
that's
to go.
when you didn't
and-
have like other.
Sure.
You didn't have other kids
Yeah.
to take care of, so yeah, she's not quite as prepared that way. But
They're getting by.
and I'm helping.
Yeah.
I've made a couple meals and made some
Yeah.
monster cookies.
Cool. Good. Good.
Everyone loves a good cookie.
That's right. Well, keep that nursing mama happy.
I know. I got to keep giving her water.
Yeah.
She forgets to drink her water.
Yeah. Good. Well,
But
yay.
always good.
Yeah. Good. Good. So we have another edition of Ask Us Anything.
Ask us anything.
Ask us.
We need like a little song.
We
Like
can
a
start
little-
that. Start that. So yeah, Ashley put together lists. We got, we had some questions that we couldn't get to last time, and they're back. They came this month, and if we missed your question or it came a little bit too late in the prep, then we'll get to
add
it
it
on a future
another
one.
because we know this is so exciting for
I
everyone.
know. You're with eager anticipation for this AUA.
It's must-see TV.
All right.
Yeah, must-see TV.
Okay.
You ready?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're
Okay,
ready.
let's
Hit
go.
it.
Let's go. So our first question is from Diane, and she wants to know, what should I do about bugs eating my precious wool?
Well, I've done some research on this. First of all, when you say wool, do you mean the wool, your stash? So if it's your stash, you just want to make sure that you might want to be storing it differently than you think. You can put it in plastic, that's fine. It doesn't breathe very well in plastic, but that would be a pretty good thing to do. Cotton bags are actually a really good way to store wools. Now, if you were talking about garments, a really important thing to do is to, before you store them away, it's before winter time, when it's summer, you want to put away your winter knits. So the best thing to do is wash them.
Make sure they're clean.
Yep, and make sure they're dry, especially if you are going to store them in a plastic container, because plastic doesn't breathe, and if they're not completely dry, you might get some mold. So
Ew.
I know. So So, but from what I read, you just definitely want to, a cotton bag is really good. Even a paper bag, a nice paper bag that's sealed completely.
The old wrap and tissue kind of.
You know, and so we carry the Eucalyptus soak and that, and the eucalyptus scent and the lavender scent and any cedar type scent. Those are really nice to put into your containers because the scent
or in your closet, like
right.
if you have something. I also looked up there's a pretty long list of essential oils or herbs. So cedar, lavender, mint, rosemary, thyme, cloves, peppercorns, lemon oil, and eucalyptus. Where I have my yarn, most of it, that I haven't worked up yet, you know, the stash yarn, is in a like a cupboard, a big corner cupboard, and some of it's in plastic, but you know, I dig in there and but I throw a lot of that those herbs or sachets in that closet, and I try to refresh those every 6 months or so. I mean, it smells good to me. I'm sure the bugs smell it too.
Well, and that's what it said. It said that the scents actually throw the scent off. Like the bugs want to live there and they want to drop their larvae there. So if you can do something to throw them off, it will go somewhere else. They'll find somewhere else. So using those scents actually are really important. A cedar plank or something like that, it's really easy to find. You can just slip that into your bag or whatever.
I do think it's important to refresh those because you know those scents fade and stuff too. And this is more instinct than science on my part. But anyway.
But washing your woolens before you store them,
clean.
Honestly, I'm probably not as good about that as I should be. Because when you start to collect a lot of woolens, that's a lot of washing and blocking. So, because then you'll have to re-block everything, and that's work too.
A chore.
So
That's a chore.
one at a time is good, but 10 is a lot. So,
so that's, I mean,
good advice.
Yep. Okay.
Okay. So next question, Blake wants to know what fictional character best represents your personalities.
Okay, I'm going to go back to children's literature. I have an elementary ed degree, so I kind of always go back to Kitty Lit, and I love it. Meg from Little Women. I think, you know, she's kind of nurturing and pretty traditional. Oldest in the family. That's who I came up with, but I could have come up with a few more. Anyway.
I would agree with that.
Okay.
Well, the most recent comparison, and my kids have noticed it, is in the movie Onward. I think it's a Disney or Pixar movie, and the mother in that, her name is Laurel, and I've had random people text me and say, I just saw you in this movie. So, and she's kind of short, and she's on the round side. She has got purple skin, so that part I don't have. But she's kind of a cute little chubby gal, but she's like really, she's gonna save her kids. So
there you go.
That's me.
I need to watch the movie.
I'm gonna watch out for my kids. Watch out, because I'll probably have some magical.
Is she a magical person?
I think she is. She's an elf.
Oh, she's an elf.
There's a little magic in there.
But the funny thing is the husband in the movie, if you go to the end of the movie, he looks a lot like my husband, Jim. It's like someone stalked our Facebook, like, couple pictures and said, that's the one.
Oh my gosh, that would be kind of creepy, but
okay. Liz wants to know, what is your favorite book of all time? This is hard, Liz.
It is hard.
It's like choosing favorite children.
Yeah, that's hard.
I mean, Sue and I have already said we love Harry Potter. Like, both of us love it, and we've read them, watched them, all of it. But there's another book that I've always liked, and it's been out for quite a while, but it's called The Girl with the Pearl Earring. It's by Tracy Chevalier, and it's just one of those books. I think part of that, it was about art, and it was about, about painting, about the artist of Vermeer, and I just always felt like that was like the one book where you can't skip anything. You've got to read every word. It's like if you took a piece out of a painting, you'd miss the whole painting. I always kind of felt like if you if you took out even a the out of the book, the way she wrote it, it was just really, really poignant.
Cool.
So that was mine.
Well, I'm gonna go to hit the whole Harry Potter series. For me, is probably all-time favorite.
Yeah, but do you have a favorite one out of those books?
No, I do not.
You
They
don't?
all go together.
Well, they do.
And the way she planned that out, I mean, it's just impressive to me. Anyway, but Babe the Gallant Pig, going back to Kitty Lit days, is also an awesome book.
Is that the
I
the
developed a
pigs,
whole
like
unit
Babe
on-
the Pig?
Babe the Gallant
Is
Pig.
that the one that was a movie?
It was a movie. The movie's not.
Okay.
No, the book is great though. But it's got some. It's sheep herding dogs and
You didn't even
Babe
know
the
that.
Gallant Pig, and yeah. Anyway, it's a good book.
Okay.
Lessons in
I
there.
like those books too.
Charlotte's
I
Web.
can pinpoint a lot of kids' books that I really did like that my kids didn't even read that I read.
good lessons in
So.
a lot of that stuff.
Kitty Lit is so fun.
Mm-hmm.
All right, next, Cindy wants to know, have you ever published any patterns?
No,
Sue has not.
I have not.
I have. It's been a little while though. I've got a lot up here, but I don't like put them out on paper. But
Yeah, Renetta was asking about that one.
the wrinkly
Needs
cowl.
to go to paper.
Yeah, I need to do that.
Mhm.
So one of my patterns is the growler cozy, and one of our friends inspired me to make this because she had all these growlers clinking around in the back of her Subaru, and she said she was tired of telling the church ladies that it was her recycling. So this was really just to soften up the clinks in the back.
That one has I have a special story about that one.
Oh,
Oh,
what?
what is it?
It's how my group of knitting friends got together. Years and years ago, we decided to make your growler cozy,
Uh-huh.
and we decided we should do it together and help each other through the pattern. And we did not go at the same speed at all. One of us knit like 18 of them by the time that the other two had
That
done
Blake?
one. That would have been Blake. And we just kept meeting after the growler cozies were done. And now
that's funny.
so that's
we're
that's
years
your
and
group.
years into our knitting
Yeah.
group. Yeah.
Wow.
And a
That's how
fall
it started.
retreat. Oh,
That's pretty
cool.
With
cool.
your growler cozy.
Wow.
Wow.
That's got a history.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Another one that I did many, many years ago is my Perfectly Easy Beanie. And this has certainly spawned a lot of
Classes.
A lot of classes. I would say probably after going to beginning knitting and then doing this, you learn a few skills that kind of help people move on. And then this hat actually inspired. This is my pixelated beanie where you use a bunch of little multicolored skeins. It's really basically the same hat. It's just, putting the yarn in different places.
Mhm.
So this is a good learning one too for stranding, learning how to
Mhm.
hold your yarns.
Mhm.
So I've got a couple more, and if you ever want to really see them, they're not that awesome, but you could probably find them on Ravelry if you just look for my name, Linda Hines, or Giraffe Lady Knits, or there's a couple other ones. So yeah, I'll have to write up my crinkle cowl.
Yeah, I think you could probably do
Yeah.
that.
Okay. Giraffe Lady
I support
Knits.
that.
Yep, that's my knitting.
Okay. We'll put that in the show notes.
Okay.
Carla wants to know why knitting needles are made of different materials like wood or metal or plastic.
So, I mean, historically over time, I think it was just what people had that was handy for making needles. Now, though, and also, I mean, if you look back into your grandmother's knitting needle collection, there was a lot of bakelite.
Oh, like that plastic.
That plastic.
Right.
Anyway,
Like Bakelite?
yeah, that. Sorry. But now we've got and there's wood, there's metal. We don't really see a lot of those aluminum needles anymore from also.
No, we really just see them from
I don't know.
customers.
You see them.
Like they're
But,
coming
yeah.
in, but we don't usually recommend them because
No.
they're so long, and if you're sitting in a place, when they
Yeah.
get stuck, you can't travel with them because
Right.
you'll poke poke people, but the wood is really nice, I think, for beginners. And I also like them. I also like wood needles with
Certain
cotton.
yarns.
Cotton and
Do
hemp. I do. I'm knitting it right now with my project,
Mm-hmm.
which is a cotton and linen, and it
Mhm.
just doesn't slide quite as easily, and I like that.
A lot of people really do prefer wood because it's it's warmer to work with. The thing about wood though is that it can splinter and it can break more easily than a metal needle.
Yeah.
So a lot of it's personal preference, but it does. I mean, if you're working with something really slippery in terms of a fiber, you want to maybe switch to a wood needle.
Yeah, and then
for that reason.
metal, well, like the Addy needles, I really like the Addies. If I know all I'm going to be doing is knitting. That's why they call it turbo or the turbo rocket, because it lets you go really fast. And I just, if you're
They're
just doing
slippery,
something, kind of boring, whatever, just the same stitch over and over again, it does let you move a lot faster.
I think some materials also lend themselves more to making a sharper point,
right?
For needle manufacturers, and so also if you're doing something lacy, you want a really sharp point. So I mean, there's a little bit of art and science there to choosing your needles.
And if you have a lot of plies in your yarn, sometimes like some yarns will be a little bit splitty, and if that's true, you probably don't want to have a really sharp needle. You probably want to have a duller point, like the regular Addy Turbo or just the regular bamboo needles are really nice.
They're just a little
and
more
the
blunt.
new prims I think are really nice, which is a synthetic, and it has like this little kind of bulb tip, and that's really nice. You still can do those lace things, but I haven't seen it split anything. So
no,
I do like that.
And that plastic it's not super slippery, those prims.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's just kind of new technology, I think, in the whole materials world. That would be a question for Mike Baker, Material Science.
Okay,
guy.
let's get him in on that.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, we're going to move along a little bit more quickly so that we can finish on time. What are your favorite, Erin, this is from Erin. She wants to know, what's your favorite notion? And we're just going to talk about one because next week our whole video will be on notions.
Okay.
That's right.
And helping you decipher that notion wall.
Okay. Well, my favorite notion are stitch markers. My favorite one, I can't really see them. Cocoa Knits colored ring stitch markers are my most practical favorite. I love the colors and I love their magnetic, blah, blah, blah. But also, Katrinkle's stitch markers are my new favorite because, I mean, they're practical, but they're cute, and I like them as jewelry, charms. So,
we've always liked that. Yeah.
Anyway, look, a little pin.
This is our
all kinds of things.
This is our own custom set that
our
we had
custom
Katrinkles
set.
made.
Montana summer. So, yeah.
And so mine is when we were talking about washing your woolens and you have to block. This is the sweater blocker, and I really like it. It's galvanized steel. There's rigid ones. There's curved ones. So
the
it's
wires,
really, yeah. So the rigid ones you'd like put on the side. The curves you can go on a sleeve. You can actually use it on lace work too to do shaping. So I do think that blocking wires are really important to.
So that's your favorite notion.
Yep.
Yep.
Use it all the time. That's how I try to judge that. So.
Okay. Jonna asked you guys, what is the ugliest project you've ever finished?
Okay.
And I think we came up with some good ones.
We did. That was a great question. I've thrown away some ugly projects. So, but one that still exists was probably the first or second hat I made on a road trip. The yarn's fine. But so I didn't have a pattern, but I knew how to knit in the round, and so I made a tube, and then I sewed it together like ears to shape it, which so it's kind of a goofy. But the worst thing about it is I didn't know what to do with my ends, so I put fray check on the inside, so it's really it's really bad. So anyway, but yeah, I found it.
But
You
the,
know.
but you don't even see the ears. They're on the inside.
Well, no, but that's how I shaped it. I didn't know how to, like, I didn't have a pattern.
You didn't know how to
You
decrease.
had like a kitty hat, but you could wear it
Yeah.
inside out.
So, but the fray check,
Did
yeah,
you
that couldn't
sew
have
it
been
on your
very-
sewing machine?
No, I did that by
Oh,
hand.
Okay, just checking.
Yeah, I mean, I did a great job. I really did.
It's not really that ugly.
Well, but the fray check, okay, feel
Okay,
that.
that part's
That's
ugly.
bad. That's
Not for
ugly.
your bald friends.
Yeah,
Yeah,
not
not
good.
for the bald.
Yeah, anyway.
Okay, so years ago, my son was going to go to school in Phoenix, Arizona. So
Hot. Really hot.
yeah,
down there.
really hot, really hot. So he was bringing a car down, and so we knew that it wasn't gonna be parked in an ideal situation. So it was gonna get really hot. So I wanted to make him a present. So I
Was
asked.
it a stick shift car?
It was a
Okay.
stick shift car. Yeah. So
Okay.
anyway, I got out my stash. I wasn't even thinking about colors or anything. I just found a yarn that I thought would work, and I started working on a shift
Cozy.
a
Like
shift cozy.
Mhm.
So I just started knitting it, and I wasn't thinking really about anything about that. I just said I wanted it to fit this thing. So I'm just saying, you be the judge
Okay. This is what.
of what you might think this is. I mean, there's lots of details.
Linda.
I did a little ridge right here. And then at the top, it wasn't until I hit the top, and I did a 3-needle bind off on the very top.
Perfect. Perfect.
Oh my goodness.
And I will say, my son used it. He said it was a really good conversation starter. So I'll link to my project if you really want to see.
So
it.
we don't have that anymore?
No, I asked him this morning, do you still have that? And he's like, no, Mom, it went with the car.
Oh, it stayed with the car?
And the car is probably total. It was totaled. So
Oh, okay. Well, somebody might
it was
have
an
it.
accident. I really didn't know what I was doing when I was choosing colors.
Well, apparently you did.
I didn't.
But
Until
look,
We
it
do
was
have a
done.
comment that says interesting choice of color.
Yeah. It was
So-
usable.
And then look, we asked Ashley too, and this is hers.
Wait, you got
So
it kind of like from the back.
Okay.
It's like chicken
some of you
legs.
might know who that is if you have younger kids or had younger kids.
So the thing
But-
can see the I
The My Little
Here,
Pony
I'll put
had
it
a
on.
resurgence when my girls were little, and my youngest was obsessed with Rainbow Dash.
Rainbow Dash.
So she had a Rainbow Dash birthday party, and I thought, no problem. I can contribute to this party by crocheting a hat, and I don't know how to crochet, as you can see. And it got more and more involved, and the eyes are crazy. And then I had to make the rainbow mane, and I don't know why I put braids on I don't know, but
I remember you making it.
Oh.
Yeah, I
Took
know.
some serious time.
it did, and I don't
And
know how to
thought
crochet.
Process.
Yeah,
Did you have a pattern?
there was a pattern. Yeah,
Yeah.
there was a pattern, and I don't know that it looks like the pattern, but
So it was for Riley.
it was for Riley. She was little.
at that age.
She was young enough to kind of be impressed, but also never wore it to school. So
It's a great Halloween outfit.
yeah.
Also never worked.
There's not crazy hat day anymore at school.
I don't know. Maybe that would have been a good one.
Yeah, I would say that would be a great one to hold on to.
Oh,
For,
that's awesome.
you need to keep that.
Yeah.
You need to never throw that away because when there are grandkids, that is going
Yeah.
to be like Silas would love that. But
Well,
you need to save it
And
for your
those
own.
My Little Ponies, they do come back around.
Oh,
You know.
Yeah, just like everything.
There is some there are groups out there that are really into.
I've heard of those groups. Yeah, we should probably.
They're kind of weird.
Yeah. Okay, so let's finish up with a rapid fire
Okay.
because we have to open the shop in like 5 minutes.
Okay. Rapid
Okay.
fire away.
And remember, if we did not get to your question today, we do put it in the next Ask Us Anything. So, okay, let's go. Favorite TV show you binged during quarantine?
Netflix.
No, that's not a TV
I know,
show.
but I don't have
Oh,
one. I
Ozark.
watched them all before that.
Ozark season 3.
Yes.
I watched that too.
What book are you currently reading, and do you like it?
Island of the Sea Women by Lisa C.
I'm not reading anything. Sorry.
Okay. Early bird or night owl?
Night Owl.
Early Bird.
Favorite podcast?
Beautiful Anonymous.
Hidden Brain by Shankar Vedantam.
Sweet or salty?
Salty.
Sweet.
Knitting project you worked on last night?
The Ranunculus.
Scrappy Blanket.
Tom Hanks or Kevin Bacon?
Tom Hanks.
It used to be Kevin Bacon, but now it's Tom Hanks.
Do you have a tattoo?
No, but I inspired a lot of them.
Standard order at a coffee shop?
Half caramel, double shot almond milk latte. That's still only at Big Sky Roasters.
Whole milk latte.
First
flavor.
concert you ever attended?
Brian Adams.
Donnie and Marie.
That's awesome.
In the purple like sock face. Remember he had like these sparkly purple.
I love them. Okay, bye guys. We'll
Bye.
see you
See you
next
later.
time.